What's up, YouTube? It's Joe Catchpolia sitting on the couch, making some money investing in fractional real estate online, as usual. Today is Friday, so it's time for this week's installment of the 52-week challenge. This is where I share all the fractional real estate that I bought this week and ask you to do the same if you feel like it. Some of you guys DM me, some of you put it in the comments to the video, some of you put it in the Discord. Any of those are reasonable options. It seems like the DM is people's first choice, and that's perfectly fine. I do think, one, I want to remind you that if you think you're DMing with me, but I'm trying to sell you some sort of service or investment, that's not me. That's a scammer. Seems to be happening a lot lately. Also, I think that the more that we can interact with each other in the community and the Discord that we set up, or that I set up, the better off that we'll all be. Right, because if you've noticed from my mogul videos, they're putting out properties so fast that I'm having a hard time keeping up. At a certain point, I'm definitely not going to be able to cover everything that gets listed on every platform. And so the more that we can work together, share due diligence, strategies, thoughts on different platforms, the better. Before I forget, please like and subscribe. In the description of this video, I have links to all the places where I currently invest in fractional real estate online. Please do your own due diligence on those platforms, on the links themselves, because some of them are affiliate links that will, maybe give you some money on your first investments. But please read the terms and conditions on each site. Also, any of the properties you see me talk about that I bought doesn't mean it's the right investment for you. Do your own due diligence on those. And finally, in the description of this video, there's a link to the Discord that I just mentioned earlier. So basically, 52-week challenge is just my attempt at a virtual accountability group, right? We're all sharing what we're doing, so we're not just doing a whole bunch of analysis and not actually pulling the trigger. Most weeks I have no problem. I'm buying stuff on lots of different platforms. This week was different. Sorry about that. Still getting over being sick. Definitely not spending the time online that I had been. And so what did I buy? Just a couple of things. One thing on ground floor, one thing on ARC 7. So on ground floor, just one small piece of an LRO. It's they're just not putting out a lot of new deals. I'm actually accumulating cash in here because I have more paying off than I have new investments to be made. And so is that true? Or actually this week it was 1 and 1, and so I still am just at 119. But the one that paid off was larger than than my reinvestment, because now I'm just trying to have the same $50 in every single one, trying to go for maximum diversification. But yeah, so far, I always mention this when I do this, I haven't had any defaults yet. This platform's been really good to me. Other than when I had a whole bunch of loans pay off artificially because they paid them off to move them to another product. That really killed my diversification. Now, I've never gotten back up to the same number of loans, although I'm close at 119. I really want to get higher than that before I start putting more cash into each one. I want to know that this is a platform where I'm going to be able to maintain a really widely diversified portfolio of loans over the long term. And so until I'm pretty confident in that, I won't be adding money back on here. Let's see. Other than that, the only other thing I bought is, and the purchase hasn't actually closed yet, but I'm fairly certain now I've got how ARC 7 works with their bid and ask, and I'm fairly certain I'm going to be getting some of these. But it's just this condo in the Landmark condominiums. They actually have several of these listed. They're operating them as short-term rentals. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom condo. The valuation, it was tough, right? The 3 sites they were kind of all over the place, which is surprising because usually, Zillow, Redfin, Realtor, they'll do a good job with condos because you have a lot of truly comparable sales. There was a little bit of a spread, but I feel like I got a decent discount, or at least that I didn't overpay. And this has been a relatively stable yield. 5.35%. It's not amazing, but it is. I think that plus maybe the discount, and not a huge one, And honestly, I have more cash that I want to put to work in fractional real estate than I've been able to. And you know, it's not, I'm still doing my due diligence on all of these, but especially like Arc 7, I'd like to put more money to work on this platform. I think it's one that has potential. I obviously have to do better at getting the discounts because they can just come and go so quick. And I think I need to start just putting orders in at the price that I want and then just letting them sit there. I just don't like the cash sitting there, so I'm not sure. I need to figure out exactly what my strategy is. But I do have, this is the fourth property I'm buying a piece of on here. I'm going to try to expand that. I'll probably be putting more money. Like I said, I'm waiting to put more on ground floor. I just don't know what to do because, like, I'm taking money off of Lofty, right? Like, I'm slowly taking it off. Although with the Leclerc payoff, I think I'm going to take probably that whole payoff off the platform. It's just, I just am still very nervous about that platform in particular. But it's one that I've made the best returns on. And so it's tough to, I'm just not sure where to go next, right? In Mogul, I just put out another Mogul video today about the Mendoza, and not super excited about that property. I think their average yields have come down. Maybe I'm just not really sure what's going to be next. There are, I think I've mentioned this before, but there are 3 platforms that I'm aware of that will be launching in the next couple of months. And so, hopefully some of those will be good. Other than that, I'll be looking forward to Arrived next secondary market opening window and maybe get some discounts there. But it's been tough. There just hasn't been a whole lot of stuff I'm super excited about. And so, yeah, this one, it's probably a little bit of a stretch at this price, but it's not a terrible dividend. It's certainly not great, right? I'd like it to be a lot stronger, but because I also think that I did well on the valuation side, depending on which one you trust. I'm happy to have a little bit of cash to work in this one. And again, it's all of these. I'm still just experimenting across all the fractional real estate platforms. I think that it'll be a while before I put a significant amount of cash to work on any of them. And, to an extent that it's like, I trust it for, a portion of my net worth that's going to be meaningful as far as like, okay, if I lose this, I'm going to cry that day, right? I don't want to do that. Of course, I'm trying, even if you combine everything I've got across the platforms, I'm not at that level yet. But I think, I'm trying to be conservative in the way I'm approaching this. And yeah, so it's just tough out there to find deals that I'm excited about. And that's, there's the Lofty still has the deepest discounts on, when you look at a property compared to the real world value, but we've just seen such a struggle trying to get some of those sales to happen in the real world, to come close to the dollars that, we had a recent one, a vote to sell one that I've been buying at a discount. And the largest owners of that property blocked the sale. They're like, oh, we don't want to sell it, but we also aren't making any money. So I don't know. It is a little bit of a weird spot. So I am excited to see some new platforms. I will just keep trying to find deeper discounts on Arc 7. We'll see how that goes. Whether or not I find those or not, we'll see. And as I said, slowly adding money to ground floor if I get to a point where it's further diversified. There's really, other than that, and hoping that Mogul puts out some deals that are more exciting in the future. Or, even if they put out deals like they've been putting out, but in some other markets, so I'm not just buying more of the same, I'd be interested in that as well. This is an extra rambly one today. I'm sorry about that. It's been a super long day. It's 6 a.m. I haven't been to bed yet. So that's everything. Feel free, please let me know what you bought this week. But this is all I bought this week. Until next time, I'm going to just keep making mistakes so that you don't have to.